Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Monday Night Raw results and your spoilers for Superstars. Also, as usual, some WWE news about WWE and Yahoo announcing a partnership that will lead to a 30-minute Raw pre-show every Monday night, airing exclusively on the web portal of yahoo.com. Yahoo will also have exclusive access to WWE archives, shows, highlights, and other events, as well as pre-show previews for all pay-per-view events, a short-form clip from WWE television programs, and more on the story, visit Variety.com. With the new Yahoo agreement featuring a Raw preview and the announcement of Total Divas airing on E! It sure seems like a lot of programming that was expected to end up on a potential WWE network is popping up elsewhere. Thus, they may be deleting the idea of the network. WWE has to issue a press release on the new Yahoo deal, or yet to issue the press release. Inside the Ropes radio show with Rick Bogner. That's the name of the fake Razor Ramon, the impersonator. And the show airs every Thursday night at 10 p.m. right after Impact Wrestling. Available at InsideTheRopes.podbean.com. First night is Razor in the WWF bumping into HBK. Actually, Shawn Michaels, a lot of guys really didn't like him. Brett didn't like him. Unless this was all a work because Brett kept that sort of stuff to himself. Shawn walked up to me and goes, "Do you mind if I give you a little criticism? A little positive criticism?" I told him, "Sure. You know, this guy was one of my idols and now he wants to teach me something? Well, here's how Scott used to do the razor punch. And he showed me how to do it." I was starstruck, man. That he was teaching me something, and I always appreciated that. He always really cool to me, which was surprisingly, given that he was a good friend with Scott. But he probably thought there's a kid trying to make it in the business and wanted to help me out. I was never going to be able to replace Scott as that character. It's like trying to bring another Hulk Hogan. You just can't do it. I'm being let go by the WWF, and the last interaction with Vince, I didn't find out. They just kind of sent us home after a tour in Memphis, and I sort of saw the writing on the wall. I actually phoned Vince. I saved his home number, so I called him up and said, "Hey, it's Rick Titan here from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and it looks like my contract's up, and I just wanted to see if you wanted to do anything else with the character." All he said to me was, "Rick, please don't call me at this number again." That was it. I thought my dream was destroyed, and he didn't give a damn. And that was the end of that interview. Former ECW champion Justin Credible, a.k.a. PJ Polacco, announced on Twitter and also on Facebook that he's making a full-fledged comeback. He noted that he is going to give it his best shot to get back into the pro wrestling business on a full-time basis. It's about the desire, he said. The reason I got into the business, the need for entertaining fans, I really believe at age 39 I could get a full-time gig with one of the wrestling companies. What I mean by that is, do I think I could be on Monday Night Raw on a weekly basis? No, I'm kidding myself or anyone else. I just feel that with 20 plus years in the business, I could be of service to help younger talent. And to view the full video at youtube.com/watch V=BROM, capital F, capital K, capital P, little a, big A, big C, and big M. Ampersand, and feature equals YouTube_G_data_player. Justin noted that he's approaching 6 months sober after entering a WWE sponsor rehab session. He said he would like to help teach younger talent, so it sounds like he's interested in doing part or training work for one of the major companies. Here's wishing him the best of luck and congratulations to him on continuing to be sober. He's got the inspiration from Scott Hall. WWE Raw crew is back in the United States following a long overseas tour. Raw was held tonight in Columbus, Ohio at the Nationwide Arena. The advertised main event for tonight's TV show featured John Cena and Ryback versus the Shield in a handicap match. Well, that match was actually scrapped. Though that could change due to John Cena's Achilles tendon injury that Cena is battling, and going from there, as it was showing on the USA Network beginning at 7 p.m. Central Time. The advertised dark main event match is John Cena and Alberto Del Rio versus Dolph Ziggler and Ryback. Unknown if that happened either. And all I got was a brief John Cena and Fandango segment. And .net members will be listening to the radio audio review of their results from the ad-free version of the website by signing up for membership now at .members sign-up page. Happy birthday goes to the following wrestlers: Titus O'Neil, a.k.a. Thaddeus Bullard, turned 36 years old. Today, he was born April 19th, 1977. Well, that was a couple of weeks ago. Was that April 19th? Aksana turned 31. She was born April 29th. I guess that should be a 29 on Titus O'Neil's birthday. Alex Riley had a birthday over the weekend. Real name Kevin Kiley Jr. celebrated his 32nd. On Sunday, he was born April 28th, 1981. The late Chris Candido, a.k.a. Chris Candido, died on April 28, 2005. He died as a result of a blood clot after undergoing surgery days earlier. Former Ring of Honor personality Lacey turned 30 years old today. She was born April 27, 1983. Former WWE wrestler Vladimir Kozlov, a.k.a. Oleg Trudius, celebrated his 34th birthday on Saturday. He was born April 27, 1979. Johnny Devine, formerly of TNA, a.k.a. John Parsonage, turned 39 on Saturday. He was born April 27, 1974. There is an 8-hour marathon of classic AWA and UWF shows advertised for ESPN Classic today. Well, that began at 10 a.m. this morning. The first 4 hours featured AWA shows, and the next hours featured 8 30-minute UWF shows, and there were no matches scheduled for AWA shows at all. Also on ESPN Classic. And Dish Network don't have ESPN Classic. That's my new satellite company. Since all the Comcast BS. WWE has released footage of the birthday party that Daniel Bryan held for Kane in Russia over the weekend. And you can view the footage at youtube.com/watch !V =_ O or 0 capital Y dash big V little C big V big B little M 1 G little G advertisement feature. John Cena was also in the ring for the birthday party as well. For those who missed it, Glenn Jacobs turned 46 on Sunday. That's Kane's real name. Independent wrestler Sami Callihan was recently undergoing some medical tests for WWE. These tests are done right before signing a deal, so he may be officially with the company coming soon. WWE picked up several wrestlers from the recent tryouts, and one of those may be also Mike the Prodigy Bennett from Ring of Honor. And for those that don't know, Mike Bennett will probably be bringing back Maria Kanellis as they are engaged. Triple H posted the following photo of Stephanie McMahon on Wednesday, which I didn't get the photo, on his Twitter account at Steph McMahon at the Franco's Gym single leg burpee with push-ups. Hashtag glad it's not me, and also hashtag one bad mama. The following was announced today from New York, April 25th, 2013. FWE Family Wrestling Entertainment returns to action on June 21st, 2013. After an unforgettable No Limits 2013, FWE Superstars will have a lot of issues to resolve. They will be announcing their venue shortly, and we have some exciting announcements to whet your appetite for FWE action, such as the main event, the FWE current heavyweight champion title match, Carlito Colon versus Jay Lethal, formerly of TNA and Ring of Honor. There have been rumors online that Ring of Honor star Davey Richards is headed to WWE as well. A source close to Richards says that he is signed with Ring of Honor until September of this year and then is very happy with the company. But Richards would be open to signing with WWE in the future, but he has not agreed to any kind of deal as of now. For immediate release, thanks to Mid-South legend and one half of the former NWA Tag Team Champions, Beautiful Bobby Eaton, will be making his first appearance for Omni Wrestling as their special guest. And here's WWE has taped the following matches from Columbus, Ohio to air for Superstars. Tamina Snuka versus Caitlin. R-Truth versus Damien Sandow. And then WWE announced that Kofi Kingston will defend the U.S. title against Antonio Cesaro on this week's main event. And normally, main event is taped on Tuesday night along with the SmackDown crew. As Cesaro is invoking his rematch clause. Speaking of Kofi, it was announced on Raw tonight that Kofi recently welcomed his first child into the world. Congratulations, Kofi. WWE taped this week's episode of Superstars, and here's the results from Columbus, Ohio. R-Truth defeated Damien Sandow, and Caitlin defeated Tamina. What y'all been waiting for? WWE results of Raw from the USA Network live. Well, now it's Memorex from Columbus, from Shreveport, Louisiana, in the Shreveport Connection Studio, courtesy of USA Network. Michael Cole joined JBL and Jerry Lawler on commentary. It looks like JBL has been permanently on Raw lately. Announced that Raw was live and sold out in Columbus. Alberto Del Rio's music played, and he and Ricardo Rodriguez made their way to the ring with a bucket in hand, and Ricardo was wearing Zubaz. Big E Langston and Zeb Coulter were already in the ring. Coleslaw explained that Teddy Long had booked them in a triple threat match, with the winner picking the stipulation of the World Heavyweight Championship match at Extreme Rules. And I did mention that Booker T, from last week, Booker T and Teddy Long might be swapping job duties on SmackDown in the near future, as Teddy Long will be the heel general manager of SmackDown. And looks like Booker T will be just another guy on the show. Kind of like Teddy Long is right now. Well, Big E Langston with Dolph Ziggler and AJ in their corner versus Ricardo Rodriguez with Alberto Del Rio versus Zeb Coulter with Jack Swagger in a triple threat. Langston smiled before the match. JBL said Langston should be smiling because he was facing a ring announcer and a war veteran. Langston roughed up Ricardo to start the match while Coulter stood in his corner. Coleslaw said there was 14,282 fans in attendance. And that's sold out. Okay. Langston whipped Ricardo into Coulter's corner. Langston charged at Ricardo, who moved and went on a flurry of offense. Coulter checked in and threw punches at Langston. Ricardo and Coulter squared off, but Langston recovered and clotheslined Ricardo as Coulter threw punches at Ricardo until Langston approached him. Coulter backed off and pretended to blow out his knee. Ricardo grabbed that stupid bucket and hit Langston with it. Langston no-sold the bucket and slammed Ricardo down. Del Rio entered the match and kicked Langston. Coleslaw pointed out it was a no DQ match due to it being a triple threat. Ziggler drop kick Del Rio, Swagger through Ziggler to ringside, Langston clothesline Swagger, and they both tumbled to ringside. Coulter found himself alone in the ring when Ricardo covered him. AJ Lee entered the ring and stopped the referee from counting. Coulter stood up and bickered with the referee. Ricardo recovered and rolled up Coulter for the win. Ricardo Rodriguez defeated Zeb Coulter and Biggie Langston in a triple threat match of 5 minutes to give Alberto Del Rio the right to pick the stipulation for the World Heavyweight Championship match at Extreme Rules. Ridiculously absurd and entertaining, Coulter did a good job of showing cowardice and trying to be an opportunistic heel. Well, that's his character anyways, even when he was actually wrestling as Dutch Mantel, Dirty Dutch Mantel. The live crowd really liked Ricardo getting the win. I didn't want to see that more than once, but it worked here. Now, why is there a stipulation for a triple threat match with no disqualifications? I guess we'll find out. The announcers addressed John Cena's Achilles injury at ringside and said it seems like he will be ready. Lawler acknowledged that Cena will be ready for the main event. Coleslaw said that Cena was coming up next with a special presentation for the World Wish Day. There was an awkward transition to highlights from the opening match as they go to commercial. A graphic noted that WWE had over 1.5 billion video views on YouTube last year. At ringside, Coleslaw spoke about John Cena's work with Make-A-Wish. They said a footage of NBC's Today Show of a segment involving a boy whose wish was to meet Cena. Cena came out in his gear and handed the boy the WWE Championship and invited him and his family to Raw. Cena told him he would be a WWE superstar with him on Raw. Back in the building, the fans cheered for him, and after the video played, Cena made his entrance with 3 boys and their mothers. No booze here. Thank God. Cena introduced Jacob, Nicholas, and Logan as the newest WWE superstars. And said that there were 3 Make-A-Wish kids whose wish was to experience Raw in person as the crowd cheered. Cena encouraged viewers to visit wish.org/WWE to help make similar moments possible. Cena said tonight was special and they were making the 3 kids WWE superstars. And Jacob said that his WWE name is the Eliminator, as Nick picked Nick the Stitch. It actually sounded like Snitch. And Logan went with Lightning Logan. It's like Lightning Kid. 1, 2, 3 Kid. Lightning Logan. Cena told the fans to keep in mind that the kids were granted just one wish, and they chose to come to Raw and hang out with all of us. Cena fired up the crowd and told them to let the kids know what it's like to be a part of WWE Raw. They all did the "you can't see me" hand gestures for everybody here tonight. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for making a very special moment that much more wonderful, Cena said. The best segment we will see on Raw this year. Announcers then spoke at ringside about the segment with Cena and the kids. After a shot aired of Randy Orton walking backstage as they go to commercial. Match number 2. Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. This was a predictable match. It was pretty decent in my view. There was a loud "Let's Go Orton" chant, and as Cody and his mustache took temporary control. There could have been a couple of trip-ups by his mustache, but not much. Cody avoided the draping DDT and the RKO a couple of times, and they cut commercial at 6 minutes 25 seconds in the match. After the break, Cody caught Orton with a beautiful disaster kick, and then Rhodes controlled the next couple of minutes of offense and then went to the top rope, only to be tripped up by Orton, not his mustache. Orton followed up with a big superplex and covered Rhodes, but Cody kicks out. Orton fired off some of his signature offense, including the draping DDT. Orton worked with the hot crowd into a frenzy before striking the Viper's pose and going for the RKO. But Cody blocked it and countered with a crossroads for an excellent near fall. During this match, Cody actually imitated Randy Orton with his Orton stomp to the gut a couple of times. And then Cody went to the ropes. What the announcer said was a beautiful disaster kick. But he dove head first into the suspected RKO and pinfall combination. And Randy Orton got the pinfall 16 minutes, 25 seconds in the match. Afterwards, Matt Striker entered the ring and interviewed Orton. Well, Cody was still lurking around ringside somewhere as Matt Striker asked whether Orton was still haunted by Big Show knocking him out at WrestleMania. Orton said the moment fuels him and he's never been so focused and never felt so extreme. As Cody tried to sneak attack from behind, Orton saw him coming and got him with another RKO. Like I said, so predictable from that. Remember, when Orton versus Rhodes meant something, it's a shame that legacy didn't make Cody and Ted DiBiase the way it should have been. The match was very good, and it shows just how well they can work together. I get a kick out of Cody's mustache. Not getting involved in this match, but the match was a reminder that he can be more than a comedic heel. Backstage segment with the Bella Twins saying that they were too busy walking the red carpet for Total Divas while the Battle Royal was taking place last week. Well, I'm glad I took me a nap during this one. I think I fell asleep for like 30-something minutes. Coleslaw hyped the Total Divas show starting in July on E. Starting in July. And then hyped Nikki Bella versus Naomi for after the break. This match didn't take long. The ad for SmackDown questioned whether the Shield is totally unstoppable, a sneak aired of the Total Divas. Program, the Twins played up their snobby personas and they were crying divas as well. Here's hoping some of the tears are over the sad state of the Divas division. Match number 3, Nikki Bella with Brie versus Naomi and with Cameron. Twin magic led to Nikki getting the win, but the referee listened to Cameron complain and then disqualified Nikki. The Bellas attacked Cameron and Naomi afterwards. The Bellas are back and as nasty as ever, as Michael Coleslaw said. So we get the nasty sensation returning from the Divas division. For those that don't know, you better call somebody! Well, the nasty sensation used to be the Nasty Boys. We're the Nasty Boys. I forget, I ain't gonna sing. I don't want to bust any eardrums. Naomi defeated Nikki Bella in 1 minute and 15 seconds. I can sympathize with the referee, but I can't even tell you how many times I've reversed one of my own decisions just to end the needless bitching of a woman. The Shield made their entrance through the crowd and set up the ring for a promo. The Shield, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns took turns talking. Rollins said from the moment they started their crusade at Survivor Series through now, no one has been able to stop them. He said that they've changed the course of WWE history when they stopped Ryback from becoming WWE champion. Still shot photos aired of Ryback, Rock, Big Show, Sheamus, and John Cena taking the triple powerbomb. Dean Ambrose said those men were mortal. He said they looked immortality in the face and forced said justice to the Undertaker. Well, that's how he sounds like when he talks. Ambrose then said Taker is a victim. He said he was a symbol of justice in WWE and generations bowed down to his legacy, but they bow down to no one. Rest in peace, Reigns said. Highlights aired of the Shield attacking Undertaker at the end of SmackDown from last week. Ambrose said justice doesn't care if you are undefeated at WrestleMania or the champion. When your number gets called, justice strikes without warning or mercy. As he said, and Rollins said justice has not forgotten about Cena or Ryback. Then we get the 3MB music interrupting Rollins. Heath Slater, Drew McIntyre, and Jinder Mahal walked onto the stage. Why? Asked Lawler. Heath Slater said that they have business with 3MB tonight. McIntyre asked who they think they are. Who do they think they are? Impersonating Bubba Ray? Or Bully Ray? Do you know who I am? He said that they were seconds away from showing Triple H how they roll when the Shield crashed the party. Jinder said that they were crashing their party and rocking their face. You've got to be kidding me, JBL said. 3MB entered the ring and fought, and the Shield members got the better of the 3MB immediately and beat them down with punches until Kane's music played and Pyro hit. Kane and Daniel Bryan walked to the ring. Cole Saw said Kane may be looking for retribution for Undertaker. Kane and Bryan entered the ring and the Shield slipped away. Kane and Bryan beat up 3MB instead. Does everybody hate 3MB? JBL asked. For a second I thought they might try to establish 3MB as plucky underdog, but it was just another burial, complete with negative comments from the announcers. If WWE knows the trio sucks, why not end the act and repackage the trio? The Shield promo felt overproduced with all the pauses for the still shot photos. They delivered their lines well, but it felt like they had more heat when they entered than when they did in the ring until Kane and Daniel Bryan showed up. Then we get a backstage segment with John Cena as he was getting his foot wrapped when Ryback entered the room. You could take that up all you want, but it doesn't change the fact that you're hurt, Ryback said. Cena responded by saying he's hurt, not injured. Cena said he is more effective on one leg than Ryback is on two. I can take that chance, Ryback said before leaving the room. Then they go to commercial. At ringside, Cole Saw and Lawler spoke about Domino's Pizza, and then they showed everybody in the arena eating pizza later on. Lawler said he just ordered a pizza, so they went onto the website to track it. Lawler asked how long it would take. Cole saw it's a slow bake, so it would be another 20 or 30 minutes. Which they finally did the pizza segment later on. And I'm still asleep at this point. Okay, call me when they bring back the 30 minutes or it's free bit. That being said, this is a massive upgrade from that a-hole Jared from Subway. The announcers hyped Kofi Kingston versus Chano Cesaro for the U.S. title as the featured match on Wednesday's WWE Main Event television show. Match number 4, World Heavyweight Champion Dolph Ziggler with AJ Lee and Big E Langston in the corner versus U.S. Champion Kofi Kingston in a non-title match. This is where I wake up to finish watching Raw. Kingston caught Ziggler with a kick to the face early on. Dolph ended up kicking Kingston off the ring apron to the floor, heading into the commercial break. After the break, Ziggler avoided Trouble in Paradise, followed up with a DDT for a close 2 count. Later, Kingston hit the Trouble in Paradise and had the pin, and it was an actual 3 count. I seen the referee's hand come down for 3, as AJ is just then putting his foot on the ropes. And then the referee actually saw it and broke up the pin. Langston pulled Ziggler to the ringside after the argument. Kofi dove off the ring apron and onto Langston and then slid Ziggler back inside the ring. Kofi performed a crossbody block for a 2 count. Kofi knocked Langston off the ring apron. Dolph rolled up Kingston, who rolled through for a 2 count of his own. Later in the match, Kofi missed a move and sets up from the top rope and the zigzag to lose the match. After the match, Langston entered the ring and performed the big ending on Kingston twice. Dolph Ziggler beat Kofi Kingston in 12 minutes 50 seconds in a non-title match. Cole Saw hyped the entire story of Brock Lesnar and Triple H after the break. A very good match that would have been so much more entertaining if we didn't know the formula of the secondary champion losing to the world champion in these far too frequent champion versus champion matches. Well, they had a commercial break backstage. After the break, Ziggler, Langston, and AJ Lee were celebrating their win when they were walking backstage and bumped into Caitlyn and Natalya coming out of their dressing room. Caitlyn told Ziggler to get his crazy little tramp out of her way and back into a straitjacket. AJ said, well, hold me back, hold me back. She said she was holding back when she thought she could get her best friend back, but she's not holding back anymore. A delivery man showed up with a gift. AJ thought it was for her, so she grabbed the gift from him, but she was informed it was for Caitlin. It was a hideous studded hat. Kind of like what she was wearing her bracelet. Even Natalia thought it was awful, but Caitlin said it matched her bracelet. It turned out the gift was from a secret admirer. I wish the hat was a gift from Mickey James, circa from 1995. Remember when Mickey and was dressing like Trish Stratus for a while? There you go. A video recapped last week's Triple H and Paul Heyman segment. And by the way, there was no Paul Heyman, no CM Punk, and no Brock Lesnar this week, but Brock and Paul may be on next week's Raw. Tulsa hyped Triple H versus Lesnar in a cage match for Extreme Rules. He asked who will win this rubber match, as JBL said that the cage will be used as a weapon, so that has to favor Triple H. JBL is right. If only Brock had the same experience that Triple H does with fighting the best heavyweights in the world inside a cage. Oh wait, backstage, Ryback told Vicky Guerrero and Brad Maddox that John Cena has left him alone to face the Shield for the last time. Vicky said she was thinking the same thing. She announced Ryback and Team Hell No versus the Shield as a replacement match. Ryback rules, he said. Been there, done that. I don't trust either one of you guys. No. As Ryback stormed off, Cole saw and said Raw has been so good that he's developed a huge appetite. Lawler questioned where his pizza is at, and they went back to the pizza tracker and found out that it's been delivered. Fans at ringside were eating all the pizzas instead. So we learned tonight is that Domino's will take an eternity to deliver your pizza, and then you can give it to the wrong person. Money will be spent on this advertising campaign. I say money well spent on the advertising campaign. Jack Swagger was Zeb Coulter versus Ryback. Zack Ryder. Ryder had the footage of Coulter losing the opening match play on the big screen before he entered the ring. Swagger went for a splash off the second rope, but Ryder had his foot up, and Ryder had a round of offense that ended with Swagger caught him with a gut-wrench powerbomb that sets up the Patriot Lock for the win. Afterwards, Swagger held Ryder so Coulter could punch him, and the match only took 3 minutes 5 seconds. Swagger suffered a bloody lip during the match. I like the way Coulter is becoming more of a standard, despicable manager rather than being a one-dimensional heel politician, commentator. Political commentator, I should say. Footage aired of Max Striker trying to interview Ryback, who left the building and arena, apparently. The announcers questioned what that meant for the Raw main event. Mark Henry stood in the ring as he was already in the ring when they cut the cameras back to him, and he said he was going to prove that he's the world's strongest man. He demanded that Vicky Guerrero give up to an opponent. Sweet Tea came out for a tug of war. Yeah, really. And Henry won. Brodus Clay was out next, and they had a tug of war. And Mark Henry won. Sheamus made his entrance and asked Henry if he wanted one more opponent. Henry was reluctant, but Sheamus goaded him into it. If you're the world's strongest man, prove it. Are you gutless coward? What is this? Back to the Future movie? Call the guy a coward, and he does everything. Henry had the advantage when Sheamus let go of the rope, causing Henry to fall on his ass. Then Henry stood up. When he stood up, Sheamus gave him the road kick. It's times like these when I wish Raw would be 4 hours every week. Wow, damn. Maybe we can get WWE Kickball next week. Highlights here, the John Cena segment with the Make-A-Wish kids again. Backstage, Brad Maddox told Kane and Dan Ryan that Ryback has left the building. Kane told him to shut up and said it looked like that they were back to a handicap match. Bryan said they wanted a match no matter what. Vicky agreed to give them the match and they left the room. Vicky told Maddox there was one more thing she needed to do, And she whispered it to his, in his ear as they go to commercial. Does Vicky whispering to Maddox mean she's aware of the camera's presence in the backstage area this week? The announcer's updated the Rock's condition following surgery by his tweet and reposted the thing. And Pain and Gain was #1 at the box office this week. Backstage, Brad Maddox was inside Cena's locker room. Cena called him Brayton Walker and Bad Mattress. Cena told him to tell Vicky that he wouldn't let Team Hell know go to the ring without a promo. Maddox said Cena is hurt. Cena said Maddox will be hurt bad if he doesn't tell his boss that Cena will be fighting in the main event. Match #6, Alberto Del Rio with Ricardo Rodriguez versus Antonio Cesaro. Cesaro's entrance was not televised. Coleslaw said Cesaro played rugby and that's why he wears the wraps around his legs as they go to commercial. Cesaro had a chin lock applied. Coleslaw said some incredible things that have aired on WWF tonight. And actually cited Cesaro's yodeling as an example. Cesaro continued to control the offense. Del Rio finally made his comeback. Ricardo tried to get the fans to chant and had no luck. Del Rio performed a good suplex on a bridge for a 2 count. The fans started singing ole, 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 ole. Del Rio left off the top rope into an uppercut from Cesaro, who covered him for a 2 count. Ricardo encouraged the ole singing again at ringside, but it didn't pick up very good. And Del Rio performed a super kick for a 2 count and then went for a cross arm breaker. Cesaro countered out of it, but Del Rio managed to apply it again and got the second time. He got the submission win in 13 minutes 30 seconds. After the match, the ole singing started up again, and Ricardo motioned for the fans to keep it up. Del Rio said he can choose the stipulation for his title match at Extreme Rules. Thanks to Ricardo, who still had the bucket in his thing. It had something white in it, but never pulled it out. Del Rio announced that it will be a triple threat ladder match, which got a favorable reaction from the crowd. And then we get shots aired of Fandango and his dancer, and then Great Khali with Natalya coming up. So we get a dance-off competition. We're getting the same long matches with predictable outcomes as we go throughout WrestleMania season. The in-ring action has been solid, but it seems like the crowds are having a hard time cheering about them. Oddly enough, I don't have a feeling when I watched SmackDown this week. Last week. Fandango and his dancer, Summer Rae, made their entrance, and there was some Fandangoing in the crowd. That's about it. Jerry Lawler, who was standing in the ring with Khali and Natalya, handled the Fandango announcement or entrance. Lawler said Fandango and Khali were about to compete in a dance-off. Lawler asked if if he had any ballroom dancing experience. Khali said he does. Lawler asked him about Dancing with the Stars. I have no effing clue what Khali said. Lawler asked him about Chris Jericho, how he did on the show. Khali said he's better than him. Khali and Natalya dance real horrible together. Lawler asked Fandango how Jericho did with Dancing in the Stars. Fandango said, I have one word, clumsy. Lawler introduced Fandango's dancer as Summer Rae, and they did their usual dance, and Lawler asked the fans to vote with their applause. Khali and Natalya won. Khali danced to his theme song until Fandango took out his leg from behind. Fandango went to top rope before his leg dropped. Fandango said his name while Summer posed in front of him with her split. Dance contest, dominoes, and 3 tug-of-wars. WWE Raw should be 5 hours every week. At ringside, JBL held up a 10 sign and then a thumbs down sign for Raw. Khali Coleslaw set up the footage from SmackDown of the Shield attacking Undertaker. John Cena makes his entrance. He told the camera that he was going to take a run at it and give it everything he has. He hobbled in as he ran to the ring while wearing his bad white t-shirt. Kane and Bryan followed was out next. Commercial break. Coleslaw hype, Kane versus Ambrose in a match for Friday night main event SmackDown TV show. The Shield made their entrance through the crowd. The Shield versus John Cena, Kane, and Daniel Bryan. The Shield surrounded the ring and brawled with the faces upon entry. Kane and Ambrose started the match as things went quick, settled into a standard six-man tag. Cena checked in briefly and then tagged out while rinsing from a kick he threw with his bad leg. He wanted a tag from Bryan, who tagged Kane instead. Later, Kane checked in and missed the top rope clothesline, which allowed Ambrose to tag Seth Rollins into the match. Rollins put the boots to Kane heading into the break. After the break, the Shield isolated Bryan as it goes past the 10 o'clock hour. Bryan knocked Roman Reigns to the floor and made the hot tag to Kane. The live crowd was hoping for Cena, so they were a bit deflated. Cena played it up as if he wanted to be tagged in. Kane performed the top rope clothesline on Ambrose and then threw him out to the floor. Kane took the announcer's table apart, and the announcer told the story that Kane was wanting payback for The Undertaker. Ambrose recovered and DDT Kane on the floor. Rollins and Reigns recovered and stood up on the apron as Kane got back inside the ring. Just to beat the ref's count of 10, Kane eventually tagged in Cena, who performed his signature spot on Reigns and then caught Rollins with leaping off the top rope. Cena had Rollins up for the attitude adjustment, but then reached down and grabbed his foot. Reigns speared Cena and pinned him. The Shield defeated John Cena, Kane, and Daniel Bryan in 15 minutes 25 seconds. After the match, Ryback walked onto the stage. Lawler acted shocked that Ryback had been there all along. And Coleslaw explained that Ryback was originally scheduled to team with Cena to face the Shield in the handicap match. A trainer checked on Cena while Ryback watched from the stage. I don't care what he says. He's hurt bad, JBL said to close the show. A good main event with the right finish. I like the story of Kane losing his temper and trying to go for the move on the announcer table instead of going for the win inside the ring, as it was suitable follow-up, considering that The Undertaker took the triple power bomb through the table of SmackDown. It also set up Kane versus Ambrose nicely for SmackDown. The hype for Cena versus Ryback seems to have shifted to Cena going in wounded. They didn't really put any heat on Ryback tonight. Cena looked noble for working hurt, yet even his own partners wouldn't tag him into the match, so he also looked a little foolish, which basically validated Ryback's decision not to team with him. That being said, the wounded Cena element makes the match not intriguing. Overall, Raw felt like it wouldn't end. Dance contest, dominoes, and tug of war. That's what I remember about this show for anything. After Raw went off the air, John Cena thanked the Make-A-Wish kids again, and Cena said that even with a bum ankle, he wasn't going to take the night off because of them. Fandango then came out, did his normal entrance. He asked the crowd, "What's my name?" a few times, and the crowd responded, "Fandango." And he told everyone to drive safe, and that ends my video for this week. Thanks again. Peace out.